right?
Yeah,
Myron and
yeah.
all these other clowns.
Myron and
I don't know much about them because I don't need the devil to tell me that I'm a sinner. I don't need the devil to tell me I'm a sinner. I don't need that. Like, what is he honestly telling me? I would love for somebody to explain to me what is, pick one, Sneeko, Myron.
Right.
What are they telling you that you did not already know?
Right. It's horrible, man. It's horrible. I could definitely say that it's the sheer volume of racism or things that have come off has been a result of Black fatigue, right? And so people have much more so emboldened by a lot of the nonsense and rhetoric. Like the most racist thing to ever happen was Black Lives Matter movement. Like that created, like I talk to friends that in my inner circle, you know, they'll be comfortable with me, whatever, just like people that I know who are, I always say Jews are not white. They're white passing, like Ashkenazi Jews come from Europe or whatever. They're white passing, but Hitler didn't treat them like they were white. So you could call them white if you want to. So, but he said, one of my friends said to me, it happened to me a few occasions, is like, yeah, bro, I just stopped hiring Black people. Just after the Black, like he was just straight up with me. I can't do it. You know, this one started acting out like that. And what it did was it created things that nobody was even thinking about. These were not even conversations there. And then once the backlash happens, then it's like, see, they've been like this the whole time. It's like, no, they actually were not. No, they
you exacerbated it.
You exacerbated and brought out things that people just, it's crazy. So no doubt about it. Every time it's brought doesn't mean that they're being racist. And to be honest, I don't know where he's gonna go, but I could say that Nick Fuentes is a complete. He's the guy's off his rails and his rockers. I think a lot of it's performative. You can see him like with a smirk on his face because he knows like he's saying so, like he does. He's genuinely not genuine. And a lot of the things he may believe what he's saying.
I love it,
but he's like he's really saying it much more so for the thrill than he is for the fact that he actually believes it. And he says stuff sometimes that makes you go like, wow, that's a very interesting fact, right? Like doesn't remove the color of who he is, but he's a respectful enemy, basically. I could say.
Right now, and I've actually stopped. I've highlighted some things that because Nick has some moments of cogent response. I'm like, this is the best I've heard anybody say this. I actually have stopped highlighting his stuff because I'm like, I don't want to have to answer for the 900 things that he said that are insane. And because I'm using the 3 things that he said that were really cogent or, you know, speaking against Candace or calling out an issue. I'm like, you know what? It's not worth it to me. But again, like every broke clock is right twice a day.
Twice a day.
Just so happens, it just so happens that Nick's clock sometimes the day is like 500 hours, but it's right at least twice a day. But again, to just pinpoint what you just said there, a lot of the quote unquote things that we're calling racist in 2026 are really the fact that we exacerbated and went too far into really insaneville in 2020. And a lot of people, like, they're pushing back on that because they did all this, you know, bending over backwards, turning themselves into pretzels to prove that they weren't racist in 2020. And now they're like, look, I'm tired. I'm tired of turning myself into a pretzel. Go kick rocks. And that's why we have this situation now. But let's see how he teases us out. Let's go.
At his spaces, there are Black people and other non-white people who still watch his content. What does that tell you? It doesn't mean they agree with the racist rhetoric, but it does mean something. It means that some Black people are so frustrated with degeneracy inside of the Black community that they'll listen to somebody they don't even like because he's saying out loud what a lot of traditional, regular Black people have been saying privately for years. Tell me I'm lying.
Wow.
We agree, but see, this is one of we have some debate stopping techniques. One of them is to call you some Black pejorative, Uncle Tom, a coon, bootlicker, whatever like that. And that stops the debate. The other side is calling somebody a racist or a fascist or fill in the blank, some kind of istophobe, right? And it just stops the debate. So, you know, Nissim might come to me with a very valid, Jason, you need to do X, Y, Z, A, B, C. Oh man, you just being a bootlicker. Oh man, you just being a this, that, and other. And then you're like, okay, I guess I'll just stop. And so I'll never change. I'll never grow from the opportunity of being corrected by somebody. But then if somebody less melanated says the same thing, oh man, you just this, that, and the phobe. You're an istophobe. It just kind of stops the argument.
Right.
And 1000%. Nobody grows. Yeah,
nobody grows from it. Right.
I hate to say it, but the same thing go for fools like Chud the Builder. Look, man, you ain't got to like what I'm saying, but I'm telling you the truth. I know my people. I listen to my people. When that man gets on the internet and says that you are chimping out, right? We don't like how it sounds, especially coming from this white man from Tennessee. Talking down to black people. We don't like that. We don't like the fact that he just picking on regular black people and picking fights with them.
So, do you know what, in my opinion, Nissim, what has brought about the Chud the Builder, the Nick Fuentes, the Sneakos? No. You know what it is?
Black degeneracy?
No.
What happened?
You know, the fact that good black people have not been able to call out the degeneracy in our own communities.
Wow.
I think the problem is, and I've been saying this, like the fact that we won't call out mess in our own communities, other communities don't see us as being serious. And therefore they feel like that has brought about the Nicks, the Chuds, the fill in the blank outside looking in, because they see the inconsistency. Somebody said it before, and I've said it before, like, look, black folk ain't nothing if we're not inconsistent, right? We will say one thing about, we'll say one thing about Carmelo Anthony, but say nothing about what happened in Chicago last weekend.
Right.
We over here marching and protesting for Carmelo, but you did not even realize that 9 people lost their lives and 38 people were shot in Chicago last weekend. That's crazy. Like, where's the consistency? And so the fact that we won't correct ourselves is the reason why these other communities and these other voices have mushroomed up like this, because we won't say anything.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's crazy because even in places where we will say something, we won't say it publicly, right? So I'll tell you a case in point one time. Funny story. We were once on a regular Sabbath in a synagogue one day, and one of somebody I'm very close to, like an uncle to me, conservative, conservative, and you know what I'm saying, even politically or whatever the case. And I think Barack Obama was the president at this time, and I don't know how it got that way on the pulpit, but Barack Obama did something that was not liked, obviously, in the Jewish world. Probably something he was not the best friend of Israel, right? And so I think the rabbi's giving his sermon, he's saying something, then he starts saying something not very, awesome about Barack Obama. In the middle, I'm talking about 300-400 people. You know what I'm saying? He gets up and he says, that's not true. Like he stands up, it's close family friend. Okay. And he's like going to rabbi in the middle of the thing. It was a crazy moment. I never forget it. It's like a meme, you know what I'm saying, amongst the family. Every once in a while we joke with him. And, afterwards, we're sitting there because we usually have like, you have a fellowship, but we have a kiddish afterwards. We have meal after the whatever.
Okay.
And he comes over to me and he's like, I don't like Obama. He said, but I couldn't let him talk about another black man like that. And so, so I'm just like, you stopped everything. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, he's obviously matured from that situation. And I think so. But like, it was crazy to see that's like one of those things. It's like, what we won't call it out, and nobody else better call it out, but we're reserved to be able to deal with it behind closed doors, right? We could say that this is a problem, this is an issue. I haven't heard too much from a lot of these other people, no matter what the color is, that's been calling out black degeneracy, that I haven't heard within the community behind closed doors that other people who had common sense, who was able to get themselves together, they said it, but they won't let nobody else say it. And they won't say it publicly. I thought about this a while back. I think it was Talib Kweli was on talking about, he was commenting, I think it was Piers Morgan. He was on Piers Morgan. And Ben Shapiro and what's his name? Tom McDonald had just released that song together, right?
Yeah.
And they're basically talking about, we won't turn your girls into, HOEs, and we're not going to do this. And they're basically rapping, their version of white boy rap, but obviously taking something that Talib Kweli thought was culturally, out of bounds. So as he's going on and talking about that's not what all rap music is about, because he's the positive rapper and all that. But he's been rapping. I grew up on Talib. He's been rapping about the black struggle for most of his, and who consumes most of his music? White people. You've been having this conversation so long on record in front of everybody. And so when somebody else calls it out, now you got something to say about it. It's a hypocrite.
Correct.
It's a hypocrite. Not being
ain't nothing if we ain't inconsistent.
Inconsistent.
We're inconsistent. He should be celebrating, like, yes, thank God, thank you for saying the same thing that I'm saying.
I've been saying,
you can even,
exactly
right. You can go ahead and get your little shine and say, hey, I've been saying this. I'm glad Nissim finally picked up on what I've been saying. Shout out. Right. All times you picked up on it, rather than how dare Nissim say that? You over there overseas, you outside of America. You don't need to be talking as an expat. You keep your expat over there. No. You have as much a voice as anybody. Go ahead.
No, I was saying, don't you think it bleeds in also to one of the things I was disturbed about? I remember seeing during the riots and Black Lives Matter and whatever. It's really big in Seattle also too. Seattle's nuts over there.
Yeah,
I love the culture of where I come from and the people that I grew up with. But we just call a spade a spade. Seattle's crazy. Anyways, during the
Summer of
riots
Love
and what was going on, I seen some of my friends. It was a lot going on social media. Some of my friends who didn't grow up with, I'm talking about with no struggle. I'm talking about the friends that had both mother and father. Father's a pastor. They had, grew up in wholesome homes and all that. What are you outside picketing about? What you outside going crazy about? Like, what do you understand what I'm saying? Like, what was that? I couldn't even understand it or put two and two together. Like, you're not even, you know what I'm saying? So like, it is something that just bleeds into other areas of where we just blindly start following something. This is why I say it's idolatry. This is why I say that it's antithetical to godliness in its essence, because it leads people to start going out and protesting and all these other things on things that are just not even germane to your lifestyle or how you grew up. Like, it's just insane to me. So I unfortunately, like you said, I think you're right on. You're right on with saying the fact that it's nobody being able to be willing to call these things out. People that know better, and you know better because you done better, right? You ain't living out there. You acting like that. Why you not calling out? LeBron James, same thing. He's playing the victim. Like, dude, come on. You've defied the odds. You need to be able to tell people you can do it. As cliche as it sounds. So
it's cliche, right?
Very important.
No, I agree with you 100%. And I think going back to Dennis over here, that's what has brought about, and to the point that we made before, that's what brought about these type of commentaries, is because the fact that we're not calling it out. We're not doing our part to say, call a spade and say, this is inappropriate within our community, because we're not having intra, and I'm sorry, we can't have a closed door anymore. The intra people group conversation, that's why it's coming from the outside. That's why it's coming from the outside, people calling it out. And I mean, I'm sure we can talk.
No more. It's already, once it got out, it's already embarrassing. You're embarrassing everybody. We just got to talk about it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right, let's dance.
Horrible person. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Some Black people are still watching him and secretly saying he's a racist. He is racist as hell. But he ain't lying about some of the shit. He ain't lying about some of his behavior.
But see, I don't need Chud to build. I don't know anything really in depth about Chud the Builder. I know nothing about in depth about Sneeko. I know a little bit more about Nick, but or fill in the blanks, right? Myron and all these other clowns. I don't know much about them, because I don't need the devil to tell me that I'm a sinner. I don't need the devil to tell me I'm a sinner. Right, I don't need that. Like, what is he honestly telling me? I would love for somebody to explain to me, what is, pick one, Sneeko, Myron,
right.
What are they telling you that you did not already know?
Right. It's horrible, man. It's horrible. We could. So this is why I say it comes back to whose you are, because you can have two different people because of what their foundation is, meaning the essence of what they believe and their worldview. They could look at the same thing and come out with two completely different outcomes. Meaning that the same thing that a Myron or Nick or whoever else is could call out and talk about how it's degenerate and it's bad and it's evil, it's this and whatever the case is. The reason why that's offensive a lot of times is because those are the things that we glorify and praise over here, right? So if I glorify and praise it, no wonder why they're getting so upset by it, because I thought it was cool to have this many babies mamas and this and to be, on the street and selling this and doing this and all the other stuff. So these are the things I take pride in. You understand what I'm saying? And that's when it comes to calling good evil and evil good. So when they're flipped out, so the reason why it gets so offensive, you understand what I'm saying? So it's unfortunate, and even sometimes you'll have upstanding people who come from good homes and everything else, but they love identifying with the degeneracy, because to them that's the core of Black culture. They just, it's not their fault they grew up with a mom and a dad and you know what I'm saying, and all this other stuff. But who I really am is this. So
no, right on the button.
And that's the part nobody wants to admit. I'm gonna tell it because I don't give a damn. I'm gonna tell you exactly what Black people say. We tired of it too, aren't we? All that cutting up and acting a fool, you can't even enjoy yourself. Tell the truth.
Mm-hmm.
People, these youngsters, young and old, out of control. And the same thing applies for people like Charlie Kirk, the gentleman who got shot, and that fool Marvin Gaines, and some of these other online non-Black conservative podcasts. I'm telling y'all the truth. That's why so many Black people watch them. We don't like everything them fools say. We don't like how it sounds coming out of their mouths, especially since they're non-Black, non-FBA. We don't like it. We recognize the harsh racial overtones and the contempt. But some Black people are still happy because that's what they've been saying for years.
That's the part. That's the part. That's what I'm saying. Like, we have bred the Myrons, the Sneekos, the Chud the Builders in the issue. And I disagree with him about Charlie Kirk. So I'm disagree.
I think Charlie Kirk was a giant. Yeah.
Right. He was not, he's not included amongst these mites. But we've created these problems by not calling it out. And go ahead.
He's the same in the sense that he made them feel some type of way, because sometimes it ain't even about. It's the truth hurts sometimes. Yeah. Truth hurts, especially if it's touching on your sores and and where you got pain at. And truth hurts, right? So I can understand why he's saying it, although I think Charlie's in a different category altogether. Not even the worlds apart, but. That's why I think that the people felt the same pain. It's just like, man, that's a harsh truth, and you don't look like me. You know what I'm saying?
How dare you not look like me saying stuff? How dare you? Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the JWhit Podcast. If you enjoyed today's show, please do me a favor and hit me up with that 3-piece special. Like the video, subscribe, and of course, share it with somebody who would also enjoy this type of content. And make sure you leave a comment, because I do pin the best comments to the top. So thank you so much for tuning in today. And until next time, everybody, grace and peace.